Hey everybody, it is now what time is it? It is 2:36 in the morning Eastern time. Uh, CNN is on. It is 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 9 seconds and counting before the festivities and activity get underway associated with a royal wedding. I think this is absolutely incredible, and I know, and I've seen comments in different areas about how others say, well, there's all this stuff going on in the world, and there are people worried about a quote damn wedding unquote. Well, let me tell you something. The reason why this damn wedding is on television, this is the reason why this may set a record, ratings record in the United States. The reason why so many people are talking about it is simply because Meghan Markle is half black. Or if you like Meghan Markle is black. You know, the one drop rule. It doesn't matter the degree to which we shy away from the fact. America is a country obsessed with race. Indeed, the world is, okay? Race and ethnicity. We all want to figure out where the other person came from. Where is that person from? What is your name? What is Abraham? I'm asked. What is Abraham? It's actually Jewish. How did you get Abraham? How did you get that name? How did you get the name of Merkel? How did you get the name of Harris? How did you get the name of Obama? You know, I remember at Doe Library at Cal one day, between classes, a long time ago, I found a book. Just happened upon a book called Black Names in America. Black Names. And I discovered that according to this book, I forgot who the author was. I should have remembered it. But there were three names, three types of names. There were names that African Americans had as slaves, like Johnson. Names that African Americans adopted after they were freed. And free black names. That's right, free black names. Like Abraham was specifically listed. It really got my interest in it. It made me think entirely differently about myself. It made me feel, to be honest, it made me feel uplifted. Like, wow, you mean I wasn't enslaved? But the simple fact that I would go on about that underscores just how important race is to us. And I'm gonna tell you something. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being race conscious as opposed to racist. The difference is that a race conscious person is, you know, willing to talk about, willing to notice race and ethnicity, but they don't put people down. It's always in the context of, hey, how can I learn how the other person talks, what that other person's culture is, how their background informs their worldview, right? That's positive. And it's from that view that I really believe we need to look at what's happening here. Because the black worldview, for a long time, has been such that we have been told we're less than. My mom, she was sitting right here, and she's went off to bed because she's tired, and I may go off to bed too. Because if you stay up through this, and wind up not getting any sleep at all. But uh, it is beautiful over there. And one time I'd love to be over there, but not that I haven't one before. But anyway, um, my mother was telling me about how when she was coming up, mother was born October 1st of 1934. When she came up, the movie studios, people, the whites who control things, okay, would always put a heavy set image of a black woman up on movies, like she called it Beulah, and they subordinated those black women who were truly beautiful. Didn't want to upstage the white counterpart. My mom said she never thought in her life, and I want her to talk about this on video, but she never thought, and it's funny, she said this, well, I don't know if I can say that. I said, you can say anything, Mom. There's nothing wrong. But my mom said that when she was coming up, she never thought that she would see any mass, and I'm paraphrasing, mass representation of celebration of a person who's black and beautiful. She said that she wasn't going to see that. Um, she didn't think that was going to happen until she turned 13. And I said, so what happened at 13, Mom? And she said that was when black girls started winning beauty pageants. So that would have been about 1945, 1945, yeah, okay, 45, 46. And then she said there were actresses like Dorothy Dandridge, excuse me, and of course the legendary Lena Horne as well, who were renowned for their beauty as well as their acting and performance talent. So that was the beginning of the end of the idea that black women could not be thought of as beautiful. It's amazing how far we've come. Think about it. That's not even at all 100 years ago. It's within a century of thinking. Okay. Um, and then my mom pointed to Halle Berry, and for me, it seemed that for a long time the images on that you got of black women and I got were really always positive. You know, I just now that I think about it, I think about my late auntie Jan, who was, and my mom, both who were best friends and they were dancers and models and everything. So, and I just don't see that, right? Um, I think for me coming up, what happened was that I was ostracized by folks when I was little, black folks in Chicago. And I don't think it was conscious, but it was just a matter of, well, gee, you're this kind of what we now call it. Now I was a nerd. They call me Poindexter, and the girls didn't like me. But when I came to California, in the brought by my mom in the '70s, I experienced a group of people. We started a Star Trek club. Some were white who accepted me, and white and female as well who accepted me and became best friends. Um, and that really changed my world on a personal level. It gave me, it helped, it was the second tier of my self esteem. The first tier of my self esteem was growing up in Chicago, going to school that had us sing the Black National Anthem every morning, surrounded by positive black role models, growing up in a household where my mother and my father loved me. They were doing very well for a time until they got divorced, which I understand why. And then my mom, because she worked for United, showed me, made her objective to show me the world in a way that few other black parents could do then, um, because we were able to travel, sometimes first class. So I saw white people in a different way than the norm. Okay? All of this, my background, your friend's background, it all informs how we look at the royal wedding today. And in my lifetime, I've seen the percentage of people intermarry rise from, I think it was 1.7% in 72, 70s, to now it's 1 out of every 5 groups. 1 out of every 5 people married is in some type of interracial marriage. And that's a beautiful thing. So when you have that kind of volume of activity, if you will, you have within that Meghan Markle marrying Prince Harry. And I guess you were saying, well, gee, does it beg the question, is it that because it's an Anglo-American wedding, can you really count it as an American interracial marriage? But since, I mean, she's becoming British, since she's American, I think you would have to. That's just me. I would like to know what the official answer is on that. I guess if she's going to Britain, it counts there, not here, right? But she's American, so I think it counts there. I wonder what the answer, or both. Maybe just look at it for what it is, both. All right. It's nice to hear because I'm watching, like I said, CNN is over here, right? CNN, okay. It's nice to hear some of the commentators talk about how, particularly women, how empowered they feel as black women, and some of the people who say it, they're light-skinned black women. Some of them are not. There are what 38 shades of black, right? Oh, here's Meghan Markle getting out of her. Let's take a look at that. See, zoom in there. Here's Miss Meghan Markle. That's with her mom. Okay. That was much earlier. What a cool sight. I mean, you really just have to say, hey, that's a cool sight. It is. It's about self-esteem. You know, people talk about, I think, what Kanye West making his statement that slavery was a choice. It wasn't a choice. We were different people. We didn't know what was going on. We knew, I mean, but what was happening to us, it was a crime. We were kidnapped and enslaved and beaten. That was a crime that our ancestors went through. But because they did doesn't mean that we have to enslave ourselves today. So I think Kanye was wrong. Slavery was not a choice. A person who's enslaved, 9 times out of 10 doesn't want to be enslaved. And they're only enslaved because they don't know of a way out. Sad stuff. That was an abnormal time in history. A mass criminal act done to people, us, by people whom we call white at that time. The best way to avoid a situation where that ever repeats itself is by days like this kind of royal wedding, and the clear as a bell signal that it's okay to be black. That's really, and I know it might be hard for some people to swallow, that's what this is about. So those of you who say, oh, why are we looking at this wedding and all this stuff? This is why. It's really important. Confidence is everything. Yeah, I can't say enough for how important it is to be confident. To know that you are the bright light in the room. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. I remember when Oakland was pitching the Super Bowl, or more accurately, I was pitching the Super Bowl for Oakland. This was 1999, and then we were invited to make a presentation at the NFL owners meeting, the fall league meeting in Chicago at the Hyatt Regency, and I went a few days ahead, and I'm glad I did. It was my idea to go a few days ahead, right? And on the Tuesday, I believe that was November 2nd, 1999, was the day after Walter Payton died. Sweetness. I had lunch with my dad, and then I got a call from Jim Steig, who was then the NFL senior vice president for special events. His nickname was Mr. Super Bowl. He said, Zenny, the owners want to go home early. So you can either go today at 5:30 with the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl policy committee, or you can go to meet us tomorrow, but it'll only be me, Steve. So I called Robert Bob, who was then the Oakland City manager, and he said, "So can you do it by yourself?" I said, "Like the back of my hand." I called Alameda County Supervisor Gail Steele, who was on the Coliseum JPA. She said, "They're doing this to us again. Just like Major League Baseball in Cooperstown, they're screwing us." I said, "No, no, no, it's not that. The owners want to go home." Okay. Um, and so then I called Larry Reed. I said I could do it. So I wound up, to make a long story short, I gave the presentation, and I felt like I owned the room. And Jim Steig liked the presentation. Jim Irsay, who owns the Colts, said the presentation was outstanding, and from a good measure, he said it to the press. Confidence, okay? It's confidence, the same kind of confidence that we see right here with Asha Sase. That's who Asha, beautiful, beautiful lady, is uh, going to host the royal family. Hey, John Marks, how you doing? I mean, it's a fun event, you know? And all these, I gotta say, beautiful ladies. Beautiful ladies, beautiful. Oh, wow. And I'm not married, not, dating anybody right now. I wish I had a great girlfriend, but that'll happen. And yeah, I did say that, okay? I'm candid about everything. Um, hey, would you say John Marks? Anyway, but what a great time. Look at this. Look at these. Look at this. Look at this. See? Fun stuff. She was saying that where they're staying is like $1,000 to $2,000 a night. Phew, that's something else. It's 7:53 a.m. in Taplow, England, at the Cliveden House, which means that it is 2:53 a.m. or 2:54 a.m. here in the United States on the East Coast. Uh, and the final preparations are underway for the royal wedding. But I just wanted to say, I'm going to turn this down. I just want to I just want to remark about how this is a great day in American history for Americans, Black Americans, and in particular interracial families. It really is. Okay. Um, so I'll be back. This is going to be on all day long. Uh, but I need the rest. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here and probably just fall asleep. Okay. I will see everybody later. John Marks, how you doing? I can't see all of your comments here. John Marks says, remember the Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think Princess Diana paved the way for this because she was, um, I don't think she's really happy with Prince Charles, but she, let me put it this way, prized people who didn't look like her, right? Um, Also, I think this fits into how London, in particular, is truly the crossroads of the world. I don't know what the rate of interracial marriage over there is, but I'm told that it's so common that people don't think about it. And whereas here, it's still to a degree the topic of conversation, right? Although now it's a topic, when it becomes a topic of conversation, it's first of all it's less so, And second of all, it's with as much expression of joy, actually more expression of joy than the opposite. That's a big change, you know. Um, hey, John Marks, you gonna stay up and see the royal wedding? I'm waiting for John Mark. Oh, did he leave? There's a couple of people, two or three. Yeah, you might. John Mark says he might. So, what do you think of the royal wedding, John? Uh, are you excited about all this? Waiting for his comments. Now you can actually see the comments. Oh, see, John Marks is excited. See, and we're a bunch of guys. We're a bunch of middle-aged dudes. I'm black. He's white, right? Are you white, John? Man, we actually have never met, folks. So I've never seen a photograph of John Marks. I have some. I don't know what he looks like. Okay, John Marks. He's white. He says yes, I am. So, but we're excited. This is exciting. It's exciting to watch the world come together. You know, around this. It really is. Wow. Then we've got who you got? Celtics tomorrow. Celtics and Cavs. You think the Cavs are toast, or do you think this Cavs will come back and beat the Celtics? John Marks. There's also somebody else around here lurking. Who's that? I'm going to tell you though. I am. John Marks says Celtics all the way. Got it. Celtics all the way. You know what, folks? I am going to retire. Do you know how the Golden Knights did, by the way? I think they played tonight. I have to check that. All right, it is 2:57 at night. I've been on for 21 minutes and 49 seconds. Boston and Golden State. You got it? Okay. Hey, do you see anything about the Golden Knights? Did they play last night? Or did I miss that? They did not. Okay. Maybe that's Saturday. Okay. Because I know they're up 3 games to 2, right? So they need to win one more. Yeah, they're up 3 games. Is it 3 games to 2? I have to check that. But no, it's 3 games to 2 because, or is it 2 games all? No. The Golden Knights are ahead. The Golden Knights are ahead. I think. Watch. John Marks says, "Watch horror films, keep America strong." Got it. Hey, John Marks, can you check online and see the hockey standings? Oh, what is it? Okay, cool. Yay. John Marks says, "Yay." Are the Golden Knights up 3 games to 2, or is it 2 games to 1? I think trying to figure out which, because it feels like they just started the series. Is it 3 games to 2 or 2 games to 1? I'm waiting for your answer. Or might be on a slow internet. Or if you're not capable of finding it right now, just let me know. But while John Marks is looking for that piece of information, take a look at the look at that. Ta-da! Isn't that beautiful? Wow. It's something else. Okay. Oh, John Marks says his device is not on. Okay. That's something else. Crowds gather in Windsor ahead of royal wedding. That's incredible. That is something else. Ooh. It is beautiful. I mean, beautiful is the word for it. Beautiful is certainly the watchword. I can't think of any other way to describe it. I wonder what the temperature is. John Mark says he's got to visit London. So do I. Hey, good morning. Alec, what do you think of this? So what do you think of this? Wow. Oh, John Mark says Golden Knights lead 3-1. Ooh. Ooh. One more game for the Golden Knights. Boom. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. Volume.
It's been such a build up to this moment, but before that, in less than an hour, the first guests will enter the grounds of Windsor Castle. Nearly 1,200 members of the public were specially invited to stand outside the chapel during the royal wedding. And Max, a huge part of the discussion today is just how Harry and Meghan are reshaping the centuries-old monarchy. I mean, this is such a remarkable moment for this family.
It really is. And Meghan Markle has chosen to walk down most of the aisle herself as well. I spoke to someone very close to her that was with her last night, in fact. They said she's not making a feminist point per se. She's just doing it the way she likes to do things. But you know, she is a feminist, so it is a feminist moment for many people today. The American actress and her British prince will also use a modern set of wedding vows, and the ceremony will also include tributes to the late Princess Diana, many nods to the United States as well, including in the dress, so look out for them. And we're also learning more about the guest list. Tennis superstar Serena Williams has just confirmed she will be attending the wedding. Now, CNN has crews all over this for you. The crowds along the procession route.
Wow. Hey, Serena Williams. Good for her. Serena Williams. Alec says it's pretty cool. People. Sorry, Alex, I missed that part. I don't have super chat would stick it there, but it is pretty cool to see the people. It really is. Serena Williams is attending, presumably with her husband, and Serena is a friend of Meghan Markle. That's something else. The final hours before they get married. Okay, folks, I'm going to go to sleep so I can at least catch the rest of this. But thank you very much for sticking around and hearing me drone on and on about the importance of this fantastic event for America, African Americans, and interracial families, really throughout the world. Um, it's a seminal moment. To me, it's about equal to Barack Obama becoming president of the United States. That's how I look at it. All right, I'll see everybody. Watch horror films. Keep America strong. See ya.